Hello, check, check, check. I got nothing. Hey, David, I don't have anything. It should be right, Mike. Check, check, check. It was working. There we go. All right, check, check. Oh, well, they were needing it for the part. Okay, can you hear me? Is it? It's just it's random. The cable's trash. Do we have a Do we have another cable in the pulpit or in the back maybe? Or check, check, check. Yeah, it's an intermittent fault. Oh yeah, we're good now. All right, thank you. Yeah, that'll be good. Okay. All right. Let's try that again. This works better than the old one did. Apparently, it was bad cable. All right. Well, welcome, everybody. Thank you for coming out this evening to see our Christmas play. This is primarily our youth. Some of the adults are helping. But it's really going to be a fun night. This is actually based on a book called A Stranger for Christmas, and it's a really great story and conveys a good message. And I know that you will enjoy your time here tonight as these young folks help to act this out. So we will pray, and then we will get started. So if you'll bow with me, we'll start. Heavenly Father, God, thank you for this day you've given us. Thank you, Lord, for this Christmas season, all the fun we get to have, and just all the fellowship with one another. And God, special times like getting to come to this play right here. So God, I just ask that you would bless our time together tonight, keep us safe, help us, Lord, to do a great job, not for our own purposes or accolades, but to honor and glorify your Son, Jesus. So God, help us in all that we do. And Lord, we just ask all your blessings. And it's in Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Why didn't he go to an old folks' home and get a little old lady to entertain for Christmas?
Well, maybe because orphans are cuter than little ladies. Did you ever think
Cute.
that?
She used to be cute, never considered herself beautiful, but cute, and then interesting, and then handsome. That's why she had such a long and successful career as a character actress in Hollywood. She was never a star, but she was always useful, always in demand, right up to the time she broke her hip. And now even her red hair, red with the help of the hairdresser that came once a month, and her strong, expressive features immediately let anyone, even the nurses, know that here was a woman of authority, a woman they cannot coax into eating her squash, or her green peas, or her rice pudding if she didn't want to. When Florence's buzzer rang, the nurses took notice. They knew she had once played Queen Elizabeth. They had joked among themselves that she was still playing her. No one really minded, though. Florence was a bright, tough geranium in a field of wilted daisies, and the nurses all liked her, even though she made them run a lot.
But wouldn't that be wonderful? What if tonight, somebody, not Daddy Warbucks, old men don't interest me, but a family, a real one, with children and everything, walked right in the front door here and said, "We'd like to borrow a grandma for Christmas. Let's see, that one over there, the one with the red hair, we'll take her." And then they would take me to their home for 3 days, and they would hang up the stocking along with theirs by the fireplace, and we would all sing Christmas carols around the piano, and I would polish the silver for Christmas dinner. And they would ask me what Christmas was like when I was a little girl, and they would tuck me in on Christmas Eve right along with the children and get me up early to open the presents. And there would be a few packages with my name on them under the tree, little things the children had made, and wouldn't that be wonderful?
Yes, it would be wonderful.
Florence had never had a Christmas like that. She had never had children, never even married. Myrna had had lots of Christmases like that. The holiday season in Idaho with her husband and 3 children had been the kind you see pictured in Better Homes and Gardens and country living. It had looked like, and smelled like, and tasted like, and felt like, and sounded like something close to heaven. Oh, there had been the usual tensions, and even fighting between the kids. But when the Christmas season was really settled in, when all the frantic dashing around was coming to a close, everybody seemed to soften and mellow and glow like the colored bulbs on the tree.
Did you really make gingerbread houses?
Every year. Made a new one every year, from scratch. Made stained glass windows from candy. Made a Santa Claus on a sleigh out front. January 1st, we'd all sit down and eat the little house, Santa Claus and all. Susie couldn't stand watching us smash the house. She'd come in after it was all falling down and take her shares of the walls and dip them in milk.
Myrna had told Florence about the gingerbread house over and over, and Florence always liked to hear it again, just as Myrna's 3 children had always wanted to hear The Night Before Christmas over and over. This year there would be no gingerbread house. This year, for the first time in all her life, there would be no family Christmas. This year would just be her and Florence and the other old folks at the convalescent home and the nurses and the carolers that came in from the local churches. Even after the children were all grown and married, Myrna had such a good fortune that she still had them all for Christmas. They had all settled in Idaho Falls or nearby, and somehow they had worked it out agreeably for the in-laws to take Thanksgiving and New Year's and Easter and let Myrna have Christmas. When her husband had died 3 years ago, just around the time Myrna's arthritis was getting severe, a family council decided that the best thing was for Myrna to go to Pasadena to live with her sister. A warmer climate, the doctor had said, would be tremendously helpful. And it had been. Myrna's fingers straightened out considerably, and the pain in her knees and other joints almost went away. The children flew her home for a few weeks in the summer, then again for a short while at Christmas. And they each called once a week and sent her the little things the grandchildren were making in school. But then her sister in Pasadena had died, and again a family council decided the best thing was for her to stay in the Southern California climate. So Richard, her eldest, had flown down and found the very best care available. Elmwood Manor was a classy place compared to most rest homes, and Richard made sure that she had a telephone in her room so they could talk to her frequently, and they continued to bring her to Idaho for Christmas and in the summer. But this Christmas she would not be going. Last September she had suffered a heart attack, and the doctor felt that spending even a few days in the higher altitude would be inadvisable. So the family had decided it was best for her to stay where she was. All her children would call her on Christmas Day, and they would make a videotape of their traditional Christmas program and send it to her. But it wouldn't be the same. Of course it wouldn't be the same. But this year At least she had all those years of lovely memories. Florence didn't even have memories. It really was not fair.
Now, why couldn't they?
Why couldn't they what?
Come in and adopt a grandma for Christmas. Why couldn't a family do that? Just once before I die, I'd love to have a real family Christmas with a gingerbread house and everything. Dream on. Once in a while, those things happen in movies, but only because some scriptwriter thought it'd make for a good story. But not in real life. People are too busy with their own lives to bother with a stranger, especially at Christmas. Christmas is for family, and if you don't belong, you don't belong.
Well, no, I don't know about that, Florence. I know a lot of people, good, wonderful people, who aren't too busy to bother with a stranger.
Oh, I'm sure you know folks who give canned goods to the poor, or even come to an old folks' home and sing carols. But to take somebody in, to give somebody a Christmas, Christmas started out that way, with no room for a stranger, and that's the way it'll stay. If you don't belong, you don't belong.
Why, Florence, I don't like that.
Well, I don't either, Myrna, but that's the way you have it.
I mean, I don't believe it, Florence. I believe there are a lot of people who've got room in their hearts and in their home for a stranger.
Name one.
Well,
Go on, name one.
my children, any of the three of them.
Your children. Your children, they would sit to dinner and say, you know what we need for Christmas? We need to find a little old lady who wants a family, and we need to bring her here for 3 days and let her share Christmas with us. That's what your children would say?
Well, maybe not just exactly like that. They might not just think it up themselves, but if it was pointed out to them, if they knew that there was a little old lady who desperately needed a family for Christmas, they'd take her in. Any one of them.
A stranger.
A stranger.
Strange as me.
Strange as even you.
Nope, they wouldn't. Your kids are good to you. I know some who won't even send their parents a card. But nobody, not even yours, would take in a stranger.
Mine would.
Would not.
Would too.
Then let's find out. I say they wouldn't.
What?
Ask your children. Ask them if they'll take in a little old lady who needs a family for Christmas. Go on, call them.
But you? Take you in? Clear out of Idaho Falls? How could they do that?
No, not me. A little old lady in Idaho Falls.
But I don't know a little old lady in Idaho Falls who needs a family for Christmas.
We'll make one up. We'll invent one. And if any of them says yes, that they'll take her in, that'll be just as good as if there really was one. Just about as good as if they took me in. So go ahead and call.
Would they say yes? She had spent long years teaching them to be good Christians, to be compassionate and caring of others, and she had set the example. She had often quoted to them that wonderful scripture, "For I was hungry, and you gave me food. I was thirsty, and you gave me drink. I was a stranger, and you welcomed me. As you did it to one of the least of these, my brothers, you did it to me." Myrna was forever bringing home someone to dinner who was new at church. When a funeral came up, she was the first to call and ask what she could do to help. And then there was the time where she took in an unwed mother and helped her through the hard times and the hard decisions. Would her children remember these things? Now that she was no longer there, would they recall the things that she tried so hard to teach them? "There's always room for one more," she would say. She would even put a few extra plates into the picnic basket in case they'd be needed. Had her children really learned the lesson she had devoted her life to teaching? Did she dare find out? "I was a stranger, and you welcomed me."
All right. I'll call them, and I'll ask. But what do I say?
Tell them about Genevieve.
Genevieve?
That's her name, Genevieve.
Very well. I always liked that song, didn't you? Oh, Genevieve, sweet Genevieve,
The days may come, the days may go. Okay, it's Genevieve.
tell me about her.
Well, Genevieve is 85 years old, and she lives in a rest home in Idaho Falls, Rosemont Convalescent.
Rosemont. Why do they always call rest homes by the name of a flower or a tree? I think they want to trick you into thinking it's some kind of resort or something. All right, Rosemont.
And Genevieve
What's her last name?
Christensen, or is it?
Christensen's fine. I like Christensen.
Genevieve has been confined to a wheelchair for 8 years after suffering a stroke that may have been brought on by the disaster of her house burning down on the 4th of July. They think a neighbor boy did it, messing with fireworks. Genevieve was desolate, of course, as all her important papers, as well as thousands of dollars in antiques, and of course, her best dresses, all went up in flames.
Oh, it must have been awful for her.
Dreadful, just dreadful.
Did she have any children?
3 children, but none of them even correspond with her. Genevieve had a tragic life from the outset. Tragic. On a foolish impulse at 16, she married a ne'er-do-well, who also turned out to be an alcoholic. 5 years and 3 children later, he abandoned her in a small town in Connecticut. He had sold every possession except a small rocking chair brought over from England, and that, naturally, went in the fire. So, of course, Genevieve had a stroke.
Of course.
Genevieve came to Idaho Falls after a second marriage to a man who had inherited a potato farm there. It was also a tragic union, for he left her for the town librarian, and Genevieve was alone again at the age of 52. Her 3 children live in the East. Only one of them even corresponds with her. Christmas after Christmas, she is alone.
Why the town librarian?
Well, don't ask me. That's just the way it was.
It was?
And now, as Christmas approaches, Genevieve's fondest wish, maybe even her dying wish, is to spend that day with the family and have a real family Christmas. But she won't have it. Nobody will take in Genevieve for Christmas.
Yes, they will. Richard. He'll take her in.
Go on.
I've never lied to my children. I don't lie to anybody. There really isn't a Genevieve, you know.
Isn't there? Isn't Genevieve anybody who needs a Christmas and won't get one? There's thousands of Genevieves. Go on, call them.
She had to do it now. She had to do it for Florence, who needed to know there was someone who would take her in. But more than that, she had to do it for herself. She needed to know that her children had learned what she spent so many years trying to teach them. Had they learned? Would they say yes?
Here it is, Richard. Have I told you about Richard?
3 times a week.
Richard is my oldest, and you know there's something very special about the relationship of a mother to her oldest child. 3 times we dreamed the very same dream on the same night. I always knew what he was feeling, and he always seemed to know what I was feeling. In fact, when I had my heart attack, he called the very next hour to see what was the matter. He's a high school principal, has 4 kids of his own.
4, and into that crowd he'll take in another?
If I ask him to. I think Richard would do anything in the world that I asked him to.
Hello?
Hi, darling, it's Grandma.
Oh, hi, Grandma. How are you?
Fine, fine.
Is it snowing there, Grandma?
Snow? Of course not.
Well, Robbie said that once about 10 years ago, it snowed in Los Angeles, and I thought maybe you would do it again. That way you could at least have a white Christmas. I sure wish you were coming this year, Grandma.
Yes, me too. Well, is your daddy there?
He's out in the garage. He told me not to come out, but I'll just tell him you want him and knock on the door and tell him you want him. Hang on. Love you, Grandma.
Love you too, darling. That's Jason. Such a sweetheart. You should hear him play the piano.
Mom?
Hello, Richard?
Oh, how are you? Everything okay?
Yes, fine, fine, and you?
Just great. Santa Claus is staying up until 1 to get some things done. But, other than missing a little sleep and trying to keep the snowball fights under control at the high school, everything's fine, but it's cold here. Reminds me of that time we were snowed in for, what was it? Was it it was 4 days. Do you remember that?
I remember. You thought that was as much fun as Disneyland. Richard, sweetheart, there's something I want to ask you. Something I wanted to ask you to do.
Sure, Mom. What is it?
Well, there's a woman in a rest home right there in Idaho Falls, Rosemont Convalescent. She's sort of a friend of mine. I mean, I haven't actually met her, but, hang on. How do I know Genevieve?
You've been writing your pen pals. It's a program of the rest home 3 years ago.
Richard, we've been corresponding, Genevieve and me. That's her name, Genevieve Christensen. and we've gotten to be very close. Genevieve has had a tragic life, just tragic, and more than anything else in the whole world, Genevieve would like, before she dies, to have a real family Christmas. You know, the kind we've always had. I was wondering, well, what I'm asking, Richard, is that you and your family take her in for 3 days and give her a real Christmas. Richard?
You mean here? Bring her to our home?
That's it exactly. Right into your home. She gets around quite well with the aid of a wheelchair. I really don't think she'll be much trouble.
But what about her family? Wouldn't they?
Oh no, Genevieve has no family. No real family. There are 3 children in the East, but they're of no absolute value to her. No value at all. In fact, she has no one.
Mom, can you hang on for just a minute? I need to speak to Rosemary.
He's talking to Rosemary. Lovely girl. Such a wonderful mother.
Mom?
Yes?
The problem is this. Well, Becky's bringing home her fiance from college, and, well, that means, and we haven't even met him yet, and that means putting the 2 younger ones together and to make space for her, to make space for Rosemary, to make space for him. I'm afraid there just wouldn't be enough room.
What about a hide-a-bed?
Mom, this is sort of a special time for Becky, and, well, I'm afraid that, well, having a stranger here and all would sort of, you know.
Yes, I know.
But we'll be glad to bring her a plate of cookies. Was that Rose, Mom?
No, don't bother. She can't have sugar.
I'm sorry, Mom, but you understand.
I understand.
Well, we'll call you on Christmas. Bye.
Love you too, Richard. Goodbye.
He said no.
But he had a good reason. A very good reason. Their oldest daughter's bringing her fiancé home for Christmas, and it just wouldn't be comfortable. Genevieve wouldn't want to make Becky uncomfortable.
No, only it's always uncomfortable. It's always inconvenient. We don't belong.
Now that's not so, Florence. Richard had an unusual circumstance. One of my children, at least one of them will take Genevieve in.
Who's next?
Dale. Have I told you about Dale?
You've told me about Dale.
Dinner time! Deck the halls with boughs of holly, fa la 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 la. Chicken surprise!
That's no surprise.
'Tis the season to be jolly, fa la la
Ruth
la la
was one
la
of
la.
those rare people who always seemed to enjoy whatever thing that they happened to be doing at any given moment. Her good cheer and deep caring for the patients at Elmwood had made her the favorite to all of them.
Ruth, are those canned peas? Canned peas are disgusting, lifeless, offensive little creatures. I told the kitchen I didn't want to see one as long as I lived.
You're right, canned peas are disgusting. I'll remind the kitchen that canned peas are never to darken your door again. Is this less disgusting?
Ooh!
Don't you dare tell now. The doctor said chocolate is off limits for you, but I've seen those candy wrappers in your trash can. I don't know who's pushing it, but I know you're getting the stuff from somewhere. But the last few weeks, no candy wrappers. I figured you must be getting desperate, so I picked some up on the way to work this morning. I even got one for Myrna, although I don't think she's a chocoholic like some people we can mention.
Why, thanks, Ruth. Only rarely do I indulge. Tonight, I will indulge.
After the chicken, salad, bread, and milk. Promise?
Promise.
I'll check on you in 20 minutes.
Now there's a lovely human being. You see, Florence, the world is full of lovely human beings who will go out of their way for you.
Yes, Ruth's a lovely person. She'll go into a store and get you a candy bar. That takes 10 minutes. Or she'll stay late and listen to you finish a story. That takes 5 minutes. All I'm saying is there are limits to what anybody will do for anybody else. And Genevieve is pushing the limits.
You're wrong, Florence. And as soon as I finish my food, Dale and I are going to show you just how wrong you are.
All right, ladies, bedtime.
So soon? It isn't even 8 yet.
Aha, caught you. You're planning some big rendezvous for New Year's Eve. I've got to keep my eye on you, you sly one.
Ruth, we need a few more minutes. We've got to make a phone call, a very important phone call. Just give us 5 or 10 more minutes, please.
Hey, is something wrong? Ah, secrets, huh? Getting a hot date for New Year's Eve? You know you're not allowed to stay out till midnight dancing and converting around like some shameless hussies.
The only hot date I'm planning for New Year's Eve is with a cup of hot tea.
Wise woman, a cup of tea is something you can count on. But a man, he is never there when you need him. Take it from me, okay? Since it's Christmas, I'll do everybody else first and you two can be last. And remember, if I catch you sneaking out of here on New Year's Eve to meet some men from the rest home up the street at the corner drugstore, you're going to be in big trouble.
Myrna wondered why she would say that. That business about a man never being there when you need him. Her Sydney had always been loyal. Evidently, Ruth had had some bad experiences, and both of Genevieve's husbands left her. Was it true that you just can't count on most people, but certainly not your own children? Certainly, a woman can count on her own children. Well, Genevieve couldn't. They were all 3 back east, and only one of them had even sent a card. But her own children were different. She had always been able to count on them. Always.
Ah, here it is. Dale.
Hello?
Hello, it's Grandma. Who am I speaking to?
Bradley. Hi, Grandma.
Is your daddy there, Bradley?
No, they just went to the store. Should I tell him something?
Yes. Would you please tell him to call me, Bradley? Tell him it's very important. He should call me right away. Can you do that?
Sure.
You won't forget?
No, I'll tell him. Bye, Grandma.
Now that I think about it, Dale is really the best choice for someone to take in Genevieve. Dale works for the welfare department. He's very sensitive to people's needs. Last year, he told me about a family he was working with. The father had been unemployed for 6 months, and the little girl needed an expensive operation. Dale got the Lions Club and the Kiwanis Club, and I don't know who else together, and they raised the money. It was just wonderful.
It was his job.
Why, no, it wasn't.
He got paid for it. It's not hard to be nice to people when you get paid for it. Ruth gets paid for it too.
Why? But
Myrna tried to think of a good answer for that. Dale did get paid for working with that family, but he didn't need to work as hard for that family as he had. And Ruth did get paid for what she did for Florence and Myrna, but she could still get paid and not be quite so nice.
Would your son have raised the money for that operation if it hadn't been for his job?
Myrna considered. There was no way she could know that, and if Ruth lost her job, would they ever see her again? There was no way she could know that either. But as the phone rang, she would know. She would know if...
All right, ladies, bedtime.
not yet, Ruth. Please. He'll be calling in just a few minutes. Please.
Aha, caught you. You're planning some big rendezvous for New Year's Eve. I've got to keep my eye on you, you sly one.
It's my son, and it's terribly important. Just 10 more minutes. Please?
Hey, are you okay? Is something wrong? Can I help you?
No, nothing's wrong. I just have to speak to my son. Ruth,
Yes?
if you didn't work anymore, if you were transferred or found another job, we'd never see you again, would we?
Why, never see me again? You couldn't get me rid of that easily, Myrna. Why, I come see you all the time and sneak in a candy bar or two and make sure you were eating your vegetables. Sure you'd see me again. What are you talking about?
Promise?
On my honor as a Girl Scout, which I never was, but I don't lie anyways. I promise I'd come see you all the time, even if I got fired, which I might do if I don't get you ladies to bed pretty soon, all right?
All right. Hello?
Mom? Hello? Hello? Mom? Sorry, we switched providers. Are you all right?
I'm fine. How are you, Dale?
No, I'm okay, but I was worried. Bradley said it was important. Is there something wrong?
Oh, no. Not with me, I mean. There is something wrong. It's Genevieve.
Who?
And here it came again, the story of Genevieve, her tragic life, her desire to have a real Christmas with a real family just once before she died.
Here? You want her here for Christmas?
Would you, Dale? It would mean so much to me.
You're serious? A woman you've never even met?
Why, yes. Just do for her what you would do for me. I wouldn't be there, you know. Just let her take my place.
Well, Mom, you see, I feel really bad about this, but it just wouldn't be possible. Marta has had a terrible time these past couple months.
Oh? You didn't tell me about that.
Well, she's been having headaches and things at her job aren't going well. Putting this kind of stress on her, I don't know. Christmas is a challenge by itself, and I couldn't ask her to bring a total stranger here at this time. I couldn't ask her to wait on an invalid.
Oh? Genevieve's not an invalid. She walks a mile a day.
She does?
I think it's the wheelchair. I think the wheelchair frightens them. Dale, Genevieve is a hardy person. In fact, I think if you wanted to go ice skating, you could probably just take her along.
At 85? Are you kidding?
And she'd be great to help the kids build a snowman.
Well, Mom, you know I'd do anything. Anything for you. Anything I could. This is just something that I can't. Mom, are you there?
Well, thanks anyway, Dale. Nice to talk to you.
Well, I'll call you on Christmas. What would be the best time for...
Was this really happening? Dale had said no. Dale, whom she had set up with 7 nights running when he had pneumonia. Dale, too, had said no.
Bedtime.
Yes. It's bedtime.
Lying in bed that night, Myrna and Florence watched the end of a Christmas special on television. All the old-time Christmas sights and sounds and feelings flooded them and wrapped around them like a blanket, but not a warm blanket. It felt cold somehow. Soon the lights were turned out, and the only sound was the breathing of 2 women and the clink of dishes somewhere down the hall.
Florence,
Hmm?
are you asleep?
No, are you?
Do you want to play I'm Thinking of a Person?
Sometimes, when neither one could sleep, they passed the time by playing their favorite game. One would think of a person, and the other one would have to guess who it was based on the questions that could be answered yes or no. Some of their favorites had been Joan of Arc, Napoleon, Eleanor Roosevelt, and Elizabeth Taylor. Florence had been stuck for a full hour once on Betsy Ross.
Okay, I'm thinking of a person.
Genevieve.
How did you know?
What do you suppose Genevieve's thinking right now?
Alone again at Christmas.
Poor Genevieve. Alone again.
If you had pushed her, Myrna would have admitted that in fact Genevieve was not a real person. But in another way, a very real kind of way, Genevieve was as real as she was.
Okay, your turn. Go ahead.
Okay, let's see. I'm thinking of a person.
Alive.
Yes.
Female.
Yeah.
Famous.
No.
Do I know her?
No.
Have I heard of her?
Maybe?
Maybe. This isn't your second grade school teacher again, is it?
Oh, no, Florence. It was Susie. I was thinking of Susie.
Susie.
Yes, Susie. Have I told you about Susie?
A little.
Myrna didn't need any encouragement. Stories about Susie came flooding out. how Susie had such a tender heart that she brought home every stray cat in town and begged to keep it, how she had found a little garter snake that had its tail cut off and talked Myrna into letting her keep it in a box in her room and try to heal it, how she cried even during sad television commercials.
Now that I think about it, Susie really is the best person to take Genevieve in. Last fall, she and her daughter picked up a little baby bird that they found by a tree, and she let her daughter nurse it back to health. Now, if she would nurse back to health a little bird, wouldn't she take in Genevieve?
Maybe so.
Sarah. Have I told you about Sarah?
Maybe.
It's Sarah that starts out the Christmas play every year since she was 4. She says, Christmas is a time of love, a time of peace, a time to remember Christ. Listen to the Christmas story.
Myrna's voice broke a little as she said those last few words. She would not be there this year to see Sarah introduce the Christmas program, and the worst thought of all, why have the program anyway? A time to remember Christ. Were they remembering? I was a stranger, and you welcomed me. But there was one hope left, Susie. First thing in the morning, even before Ruth came in with their breakfast trays, Myrna would call Susie, her baby, always her sweet baby. Susie would not say no. Susie would take in Genevieve.
So early? It's only 6:30.
It's later in Idaho than it is here. Plus, Susie's always been an early riser. Please let Susie say yes. Please let her say yes.
Hello?
Hello? It's Grandma.
Hi, Grandma.
Well, Sarah, how are you, my dear?
Fine, Grandma. Play practice is going well. I'm so excited it's almost Christmas. How are you?
Very well, thank you. Is your mother there?
Yeah, I'll go get her. Mom, how are you?
Fine, Susie. And you?
Oh, Mom, you should see our tree this year. It's never been so beautiful. Aunt Mabel made me 3 dozen of those little tad snowflakes, and I got some more.
Susie, I need your help.
What is it?
I need you to take in a friend of mine for Christmas.
And here it came for the third time. The tale of Genevieve, her disappointments, her sorrows, her loneliness, her hope of having one family Christmas, just one family Christmas before she died. Myrna told it better this time than she had ever told it before, and her voice was close to breaking.
Just let her be the grandma this year, Susie. Let her take my place. Give her a Christmas that will let her die happy. Susie?
Mom, this is, well, I need to think about this for a minute. Can I call you back?
No, Susie. Just tell me now, yes or no. She'd be hardly any trouble at all. She doesn't have a wheelchair or anything. She walks a mile a day, in fact.
But wouldn't you be awfully uncomfortable with strangers?
She'd love it. Believe me, she'd love it.
But it just isn't a good time. The timing's all wrong, Mom. Maybe I could do it next year. I'll plan for it.
She won't be with us next year.
She won't?
No, she's fading fast.
I thought you said she walks a mile a day. No.
Slowly. Slower and slower. Next year, she'll only be a memory.
Oh, Mom, I wish I could. Believe me, I wish I could, but I just can't. Please try to understand me, Mom.
Well, have a happy Christmas.
We're making the videotape of the Christmas program. Oh, wait, we're making the videotape of the Christmas program. I know you'll love it.
Yes. Goodbye, Susie.
Goodbye.
Don't blame your kids too much, Myrna. When I was a kid, I wouldn't have wanted a little old lady to come to my house for Christmas. It only seems like a good idea to me now because I am a little old lady.
I suppose so, Florence. I suppose so. I just thought maybe my kids would be different.
The next day was the day before Christmas Eve. Caroling groups had already come twice from the local churches. Christmas music was playing almost constantly in the hallway, and cookies shaped like bells and Santas appeared on the lunch and dinner trays. Ruth was taking 4 days off, and she had come in the day before to wish Myrna and Florence a Merry Christmas.
Now you be good and be sure to tell me what Santa Claus brings you.
Well, there would be presents to unwrap. A large box had arrived from Idaho Falls, carrying a dozen or so brightly wrapped presents that were on the table by the poinsettia, waiting for Christmas morning. Florence had a couple of presents waiting too, sent over by her cousin and by the woman who used to be her agent.
Oh gosh, I'm sorry. We're not so bad off, you know, Myrna. There's lots off worse than we are.
She didn't say it. She just thought it. Genevieve. Genevieve would not have a present to open at all. They had agreed not to mention her again. It was just too painful. Myrna tried not to think about it either, and it didn't work. That was about all she did think about, and her children, and she listed all the good qualities about each precious child and told herself over and over that their excuses were valid. The timing was wrong. It had just been too much to ask. But that phrase kept repeating again in her mind like the tunes in the hallway. I was a stranger, and you welcomed me. After lunch, Myrna and Florence sat dozing in their chairs. They had given up taking afternoon naps. They slept better at night that way. But dozing in their chairs after lunch was a ritual they both enjoyed. As Myrna drifted in and out of consciousness, the sounds of the rest home played through her mind.
Christmas is a time of love, a time of peace, a time to remember Christ.
Myrna knew she was asleep. She had dreamed several times in the last week about Christmas back home, but the voice sounded so real. She opened her eyes. Perhaps she wasn't dreaming. Perhaps she had died and gone to heaven, for there was an angel in the doorway, an angel in a long white robe and tinsel halo.
Listen to the Christmas story. Merry Christmas, Grandma.
The kids made us a promise to surprise you, Mom. You know how they love surprises. We've been planning it for months.
Were you surprised, Grandma? Were you?
She was surprised.
Guess what, Grandma? We rented this huge house right by the beach. You can see the ocean from the window. We're all going there for Christmas. We rented it for a whole week.
That's right. We rented the house right on the beach so we could take a vacation right now. I mean, who wants Christmas in Idaho when you can have a little sunshine, huh?
And the beach.
And Disneyland.
And Grandma. Especially Grandma.
You're here? You're all here?
Well, not quite all of us. Not yet.
Richard? Where's Richard?
Richard will be here tomorrow. He's flying in tomorrow with Genevieve.
What?
With Genevieve, your friend from the rest home in Idaho Falls.
Genevieve.
Genevieve is coming here.
For Christmas. Well, you didn't think we'd leave her there, did you? All alone in the rest home for Christmas? No.
Genevieve is coming here.
For Christmas.
Well, I have to admit, we're having a little trouble locating her mom. We couldn't find Rosemont convalescent in Idaho Falls, but there was a Rosewood not too far away. So we figured that's what you meant. Only they didn't have Genevieve Christensen, but they did have Geneva Christopherson, which we decided had to be her. She had been transferred to the rest home in Boise last week, but we couldn't find out which one, so we sent Richard to Boise to find her.
We had 2 plane tickets for tomorrow, the 24th. We weren't sure whether she needed a wheelchair or not, so we called the airline and told them to have one ready just in case. So we told Richard not to even bother leaving at all until we find Genevieve.
And you two get the best room, Grandma. It looks right out onto the ocean.
See what I made on the car ride coming down? Myrna and Genevieve. Wait. Don't you think she'll like it?
Why? I think...
Are you all right, Mom? Is there something wrong?
You bought a plane ticket for Genevieve?
She'll be here tomorrow.
Dale, there is no Genevieve.
Pardon me?
There is no Genevieve. We made her up. Lawrence and I, well, we made her up.
You made her up? Why?
Well, Florence didn't think that anybody would take in a little old lady for Christmas. And I said that yes, they would. And she said, who? And I said, my children. And she said, no, they wouldn't. And I said, they would. And it just got so terribly important. So I had to find out if I taught you anything.
If you taught us anything? Mom, you don't remember what you taught us?
Well, I guess I had to know if you learned.
So you mean we can't have Genevieve for Christmas?
Florence? This is Florence, I presume, correct? You started this whole thing, didn't you, Florence? What were you planning on doing, Florence? Going anywhere? How about coming with us? We seem to have an extra plane ticket out of nowhere.
Me? Go with you?
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
For Christmas?
Yeah.
For a whole week, if you can stand us.
Hey, yeah, I can make another stocking. I get to be the first one to walk with her on the beach. Me next.
You're sure? You're sure you got room?
There's always room for one more.
I heard all that. I got Myrna packed while she was asleep. Now I really have to hustle to get Florence ready.
Ruth, aren't you off today?
Well, do you think I missed this? They let me in on this, and I've been looking forward to it since Thanksgiving.
Okay, guys, let's get moving. Everybody out but Dale and me. We'll see you soon at the house. Rosemary, remember to stop and get the candles for the gingerbread house.
Sure thing, Susie.
Gingerbread house? We're having a gingerbread house.
We'll have to make it tonight. We're afraid it might get broken in the car.
Ruth, Be sure to pack my red dress, the one with lace.
You bet, Florence. You bet.
Hey, Richard, you're not going to believe this.
The words of Scripture from the Gospel of Matthew echoed in her mind. For I was hungry, and you gave me food. I was thirsty, and you gave me drink. I was a stranger, and you welcomed me. I was naked, and you clothed me. I was sick, and you visited me. I was in prison, and you came to me. Then the righteous will answer him, saying, Lord, when did we see you hungry and feed you, or thirsty and give you drink? And when did we see you a stranger and welcome you, or naked and clothe you? And when did we see you sick or in prison and visit you? And the king will answer them, Truly I say to you, as you did it to one of the least of these my brothers, you did it to me.
Merry Christmas, Florence.
Merry Christmas, Myrna.
There we go. Yeah, it's on. I didn't know if I muted it or not. I'm trying to be in two places at one time. But didn't they do a good job, everybody? Just thank you so much. Thank you all for putting so much hard work into it. Definitely want to recognize my wife, Miss Ellen. She sort of commandeered the largest part of this and helped keep this train going. And then, she deserves it. She put a lot into this. I got to do the easy stuff, which was press some buttons. But she did a great job. And then she brought a lot of other people in along with her. Isaiah Lilly, fantastic job with the set design and all of that. He and Asher Allman and myself, but it was mostly them two, sort of dreamed it up. And then between Isaiah and Asher, they just made it all happen, and you have what you see behind you today. Also, Jessica Allman did costume and makeup, all that good stuff. So if you get a chance to shake hands or give hugs to the two little old ladies, you'll see what we're talking about, because between the hair and the different things on the face, if you get real close, you're like, whoa. But when you back up, it's like just the perfect aesthetic. So great job there. David, he jumped in there. We did have two narrators to bounce between the two, but one of them got sick, unfortunately. So he jumped in and did both narration parts. And so just a really good effort. Thank you all so much for coming out tonight. I hope you have a great evening and a wonderful Christmas season. God bless you. Have a good evening.